Well, if I could step back historically, in 1964, I was 17 years old, and I noticed that silver, my dime had a copper tinge around the edge of it. And I thought that was really strange. Why does a silver dime have copper on it? And the quarter had a copper edge on it too. A silver quarter had copper, and so did the half dollar. Because I've been in silver since 1964, and I bought my first gold coin in Vietnam, actually in Hong Kong, in 1972 when it was illegal for Americans to own gold. I'm an Japanese American. But the reason it's not going to work, it goes really simply to this law here. It's Gresham's law. Bad money drives out good money. And so all the money these Democrats or whoever they are proposing, it's just going to print more fake money, more bad money. And it's going to drive out good money, which is good for gold and silver and some crypto. But the Biden plan is just going to just drive out. It's not going to work. It has never worked throughout history. You look at Gresham's law here, it didn't work since the time of the Romans. When they were filing off the edges of their coins to get the silver out of the coins. It didn't, and violating Gresham's law brought to power a man named Adolf Hitler, which cost 20-something million lives when all counted in. And as you know, from being from South Africa, Zimbabwe violated Gresham's law. So every time Gresham's law is violated, we have massive problems. So the Biden plan is going to make it 10 times worse. That's my concern. The best way to destroy the capitalist system is to debauch the currency. So what they do was when they print all that money, and the next guy here, another favorite of mine, I'm a former US Marine, and what Marx said is that there was only one way to kill capitalism, and that is by taxes, and more taxes. So you look at what Biden's proposing, he's going to print $4 trillion, and he's going to raise taxes. So what they're trying to do is stimulate inflation. But that makes it harder for the poor and middle class to survive. And so they feel good. They get this free check, it's going to be universal basic income, or MMT, which I call a Marxist monetary theory. It's bad money. It has never worked throughout history. And as when you and I talk about Zimbabwe was the breadbasket of Africa, country in Africa. And it used to be a Rhodesia named after Cecil Rhodes. And the moment Mugabe started printing all that fake money in Zimbabwe went from being the richest country in Africa to the poorest. I didn't know it at the time. When I saw that copper tinge around the US dime, and I went, something is wrong. But intuitively, human beings know what real is and what fake is. And then when Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard, that's why I went looking for gold. But throughout history, every time they've done this, it doesn't end well. So that's why I've been saying buy silver, buy gold. Now, this is the problem, as some of you guys know. The price of silver goes down, but you can't buy it. You can't find it in the stores. There's a shortage of silver. And the same with gold. I was trying to buy gold the other day, and they said, I'm sorry, we can't deliver it to you. But the price isn't going up. So that means it's manipulated to me. I could be wrong. I'm not an expert on it. But for years and years and years, I've been saying, buy silver, buy gold, because that's real money, not ETFs, real gold, real silver, and keep it in safes far away from your house. I bought Bitcoin at 9,000 and I thought I was being fleeced. But the reason I bought it at 9 was because COVID shut down the world economy. So I thought it was when they started printing, so I bought Bitcoin at 9. I wish I'd bought it at 10 cents, like a lot of people did. But now I look like a genius because today it's around 55,000. This is April 2021. And I think it's going to go to 1.2 million in 5 more years. So I'm still advocating it all. I prefer gold and silver. I do, because Bitcoin is still untested. But I have the wherewithal to withstand the hit if it goes down. But gold and silver are God's money. I know because I've traveled the world looking for this stuff. And I've been in the Andes, I've been in Mongolia, been in Argentina. I was just in Park City, which is a silver mining place. So I'm very much in favor of gold and silver because it's God's money. God put it here. I'm not really religious, but I'm saying God put it here. And then now with AOC and her Green New Deal, silver is going to be used more and more for the environmental. So silver is an industrial metal, but like the thing that really is strange is I can't buy it at retail. So I go to, a coin dealer and I just test them. I say, have you got any silver? I said, yeah, in about 6 months. Well, I think the big thing is, for batteries right now. And, there's Tesla, there's Sony, all the tech companies use silver. And they can't find. Another thing too, which is a little bit too technical, is many of the silver mines are in hostile territory. They don't like us. I know because I've been to their countries looking for silver. So silver is getting rarer and rarer and rarer and more demand. So that's why for the last, I think, 15, 20 years, I've been very bullish on silver, and then I couldn't get it. So the other day I called my local dealer up and I said, have you got it? He says, you won't believe this. I got X amount. I said, I'll take it. I paid nearly $30 for it. I've never paid that much for silver, but I'm that bullish on it that I want to get as much as I can now before it moves again. So that's just my psychosis. I'm not saying I'm right. I just love silver. I love gold. I've been all over the world looking for it. I believe in Gresham's law. Bad money drives out good money. And this guy Biden, I'm not blaming Biden, please get me, I'm not Republican or Democrat. I'm just saying that the system is forcing all of us to become gold and silver and possibly crypto buyers right now. Bitcoin is untested yet, but that's why I was happy to get some at 9,000. And I may buy some again today or tomorrow just because I'm more bullish on it. But I'm not bullish on gold, silver, or Bitcoin. I'm just bearish on Biden and his communist gang. That's what I don't like. I don't trust the academic elite. That's called Bernanke and Yellen, and now we have Powell. These guys are communists. They print money. They're central bankers. I really don't like how they screw everybody. It makes me rich because all the CEOs take all this fake money and they drive up the stock price. But the working class guy is getting screwed. The person working for money, trying to pay the rent, they can't afford to buy a house. They don't buy stocks. They're just surviving day to day, and the price of food keeps going up and all this. That's what happens when you print money. That's what brought Hitler to power, after 1918, when the Weimar Republic started printing all this fake money. You saw it in Zimbabwe. It's happening in Venezuela, and they screw the poor. It makes me sad. Why don't we, I've always said, why don't we have financial education in school? Just teach them Gresham's law. Bad money drives out good money. Yet our school teachers, those idiots, teach kids to save money. You got to be crazy. Just tell kids to save silver. They'd be a lot better off. The reason I say Bitcoin is untested, because it is untested. It's only been around since about 2009 or something. So that's why I'm very cautious with it, the same as all the other altcoins. And I think altcoins are here to stay, but I don't know which one will survive. Remember, I don't know, you're too young. When Amazon came out, so did pets.com. And people were buying pets.com, and pets.com disappeared, and Amazon became the behemoth of the world. So I didn't know anything about .com, and I don't know anything about crypto. So I talked to the young guys who are in it every single day, and they kind of filled me up. So they told me to buy. I interviewed this guy, Robert Breedlove. He's a CPA plus a finance guy from Wall Street and all this. And he is probably the most knowledgeable on Bitcoin in my personal experience. And he's the one who's saying it's 1.2 million. So of all the people, I trust him. Then I asked him, I said, what happens if somebody, like let's say you and I start our own coffee Bitcoin? He says, the beauty of Bitcoin is it adapts. So if this coffee Bitcoin starts kicking Bitcoin's butt, the Bitcoin will adapt. It's very similar to Amazon. Amazon adapted. It could morph, it could change as new .coms came online. It could absorb them. So that's why social media is so strong today. Once they got a foothold, they could take over any competitor they had. So the cryptocurrencies, everybody's into cryptocurrency. Every young guy's trying to start their own Bitcoin now. But what this guy, Robert Breedlove, was telling me, Bitcoin will eat them alive. So I don't know if that's true or not, but being an old guy, I got to trust the young guys. That's all I'm saying.